Hickok 45, loading up my Nerf gun here. I think John had one like this when he was a little guy. You can imagine him ever being a little guy. Yep, loading up the magazine, except these are not Nerf balls. These are 12 gauge, thanks to Federal, right? In fact, these are 4. And since it's not a Nerf gun, we got to treat it like a real gun, right? So I'm going to load it up. Notice we have this cylinder with 4 tubes, each holding 4 rounds of 2 3/4 or 3-inch shells. And this has been out for 2 or 3 years. This shotgun from SRM Arms. I just never shot one. I've seen one, but I've never fired one. And I think they're not sitting around in every gun shop. It's the model 1216. It means it's a 12 gauge and it holds 16 rounds. 4 tubes, 4 rounds in each tube. You folks up in Kentucky, 4 times 4 equals 16. So it's called the 1216. So you load the tube, and you could have spare tubes. You pop it in there. The bolt needs to be closed. That's the way it works. You want the bolt closed, which it is. Fumbling around with it. A little bit awkward in some ways. And then you just pop that magazine in there. Now, you look at this thing, if you've not seen one, and you might think, oh, yeah, right, what a contraption this thing is. I wasn't sure. I really didn't know much about it. I did some research, and I have fired it for over a week. John's been preoccupied with babies and things lately, so we're a while getting to it. So I've just been firing it and messing with it for a couple of weeks. And so far, it has worked. It has not had a malfunction so far. Okay, nothing has acted up on it. It might today, but it has not, and it seems solid. That's my impression right now. Now, you may have one and have a different experience. Feel free to share, but as long as you're not from the competition, okay, we don't need all that stupid stuff in the comments, but it seems to work. So we'll see if it works today. All right, now I've got I'm shooting, well, 4 buck. I told you already, didn't I? Okay, I must be from Kentucky. I can't remember anything. I am from Kentucky, actually. All right, y'all know that if you watch the FAQ videos, which you're supposed to check out. So I've got a full magazine. The bolt is closed. Pull her back. Should have put one in. Yeah, it did. All right, safety is right there. It's a little odd, but it's right there for that finger, and you just push it up when you're ready to shoot. And it's reversible, so is the bolt handle. It's a totally ambidextrous firearm. All right. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do first? I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna put buckshot on that paper target, just so we'll mess it up good for somebody. How's this? Uh-oh, my sight went out, didn't it? There we go. How's that? And you know what? Let's start out smoking some pot with this thing. It's a 12. Oh man, did you notice? That is great. I got 3 big, pretty good sized pots out because they're all dry. And since we have a shotgun, I knew it'd be a good day to smoke pot. And someone built a pyramid of 12 ounces down there. It's gone now. It is gone. How about a 2 liter? Woo! Now, here's the way it works. 4 in a tube, all right? And you push up, and the way I do it, I guess you could do it differently with different fingers, I don't know, but the way it works for me is, being a right-handed person, I noticed Jeff Quinn shooting one of these, and he's a wrong-handed person, and he was doing it a little bit differently. But I push up with my thumb, and I just turn it around, like that. And did you hear the round go into the chamber? So it automatically chambers one once it knows it has a new supply of ammo. So that's kind of nice. And it's ready to go, right? Okay, very ready to go. Hey, a garbage can. It doesn't appear to have been shot. Let's put some buckshot on it. Oh wait, maybe it has been shot. We're empty again. Same thing. There we go. It's ready to go again. Let's smoke a little more pot. A little smoky here. Cool, huh? Boom. All right, it's empty again. So all I do is rotate it. You know what I'm going to try to do? Let's see if we can hear anything hit the gong. I think I might have heard one. I think I did. That number 4 buck is some good stuff. So now it's empty and I can pull out the magazine, but before I put another one in, I'll release the slide or the bolt right there. There we go. That's the bolt release right there, bolt lock, whatever. Okay, I showed you the safety, and all that's ambidextrous. It can be moved to the other side. All right, and pretty interesting design, I'll have to say. I like that sight too. I've never used one of those. What about it? Cool gun. I have to say, I didn't think I'd really like it. I thought, well, that is something that's kind of interesting, and I bet our viewers would be interested in seeing it. Maybe it won't work very well, or maybe it'll work well, just whatever we find out. Because I came into it green. I didn't know, I haven't heard anything about them other than I've seen them somewhere, maybe at the SHOT Show or the NRA meeting or somewhere. And but I just wasn't on my mind. And so I didn't have any preconceived notions about it, other than being a little strange. And you know, it breaks down a little bit like an AR. It's new, so it's kind of stiff. I think I have to use my Glock tool. I work Glocks in on everything, don't I? Isn't that terrible? There we go. And the bolt, it's all kind of warm. This comes out. Use a delayed roller blowback system. Okay, so it's not really a gas operated shotgun. It's a blowback. Roller delayed, so there's your kind of like an HK, not exactly, I guess, but so I don't know a whole lot more about that, but yeah, maybe that's why it's reliable so far. Okay, and put it back in. Need to get my thumb over here or finger and push the bolt release. It goes right back in. Okay, so it's kind of like an AR in that sense. Very familiar operation. Okay, yeah, I mean, kind of simple. And then you load the tube. Like I say, you've got 16 shots, so you need to solve your problem in 16 shots. And I think they sell for, they're not cheap. They're somewhere 15, 1600 bucks, 17, I forget now, something like that. These kinds of unusually designed shotguns don't come for, you know, the price of a Mossberg or an 870, that sort of thing. I know what you want to see. You want to see if it'll shoot slugs, don't you? Well, you know me, I love to shoot slugs. I don't like shooting English, I guess. Let's load up a few slugs, try it with them. Which brings me to another point. It does not like field loads. It's really designed for police work, self-defense, you know, maybe military use, I don't know, but it's a defensive shotgun, okay? So it's, you know, nobody cares, they don't care if it will shoot field load, low brass field loads. You might find some, if they're more than an ounce and they're high brass, it might shoot some, you know, bird shot or something, I don't know. I tried it with some of the Federal, of course it's low recoil stuff anyway, target loads, and it did not, it's funny, the first time I tried them, I loaded a full magazine here, and it just malfunctioned once or twice with them. But the next time I did it, it was malfunctioning a lot. Maybe it was getting dirty or something. But it doesn't want a light load. Okay, so if you're looking for something to go blast through a bunch of cheap ammunition, this is not it. All right, it's a defensive shotgun. Now maybe after it gets really broken in, you would notice it would feed it better. I don't know. I noticed that with my H&K, my Super 90. When I first got it, it was just like this. And because it's kind of a defensive, you know, shotgun anyway, and it would not feed anything but high brass. But then in a few years it started feeding about anything. All right, let's get a couple more. I need all the punishment that I can get from this firearm. I think I just need one maybe. Now one thing you can do, you can tell if the mag is loaded. You can just, yep. There's a little room there, but not room for another shell. Okay. And then again, what else about it? You want the bolt closed when you load it, because it wants to put one in right away. Now, I made that mistake once. The bolt was open, so I popped this in there. As soon as I popped it in, chunk, oh man, it's hot. Okay. So you don't want it to be hot unless you plan for it to be hot. kind of like today, it's 95, and I planned for it to be 95. Was that hilarious or what? Okay, so nothing happens if your bolt's closed. That would be pretty difficult to get one in the chamber if your bolt is closed. So you have to put one in there. And you see how these little gizmos up here work. They're ambidextrous, of course, as well. I could shoot it wrong-handed, you know, and I could put it, you know, activate it with my my right thumb. Okay, and I don't know, it may be. I'm thinking I saw somebody spinning the revolving, you know, the revolving cylinder or whatever here, tubes, the opposite way that I do. To me, it just seems kind of natural to get a hold of it like this and then just bring it around like that. But you could go the other way with it, I think. You know, I'm pretty sure I saw somebody doing it the other way. Maybe I dreamed that. No, it'll go the other way, surely, because if I were lefty, I don't know, maybe it won't. Okay, maybe I'll get into operation and try it again. All right, let's go ahead and try some of these slugs. I've, like I say, I've been messing with it, and I think I've got the sights on pretty well. Now, it's not a rifle. It is a shotgun, but if you've been around long, you know that slugs can be fairly accurate. What happened to my, the sun, the way the sun was on that ram, it looked like it was not there. Let's try the gong. Now this will really wake him if I hit him. Safety's off. I think it's near the middle there. Oh, that was not in the middle. What is wrong with me? All right, let's try it again. Well, it's like you're going high or something. There we go. 6 o'clock hole at knee. Let me try the red plate. There we go. All right. Now again, we're out of that tube, so I'm going to spin it. Puts one in there for me. I wonder if I hit that cinder block on the barrel. Oh, I love it when a slug makes contact with cinder block. Or a ram. Got another one? Yeah. And that one I can barely see. And he's still there. More rounds. Man, puts him down. Puts down a pig too, doesn't it? Whew, pretty interesting. Wow, smoky ammo. A lot of power. Takes a lot of smoke. Takes a lot of powder. So this is pretty interesting. What have I not told you about the thing? You get a straight back recoil. It doesn't rise on you. It punches you a little bit. This must be some good rubber they put on that thing because, you know, it's not that heavy. I think it's 7.5 pounds. And it doesn't seem to kick, you know, in any extraordinary way or anything. Of course, you got semi-automatic that absorbs some of that. But it's fairly comfortable to shoot. And when the mag is loaded, of course, you've got some weight, right? With 16 rounds in there. It feels pretty good. It has kind of a bullpup look about it, but it's really not that short. And it's fairly convenient to operate, I have to say. I really didn't expect to like it, but as far as these weird sorts of shotguns like this go, you know, KSG, the Turkish gun, UTAS, can think of the name of the DP12. There's a lot of stuff out there where folks have sat around too many beers and thought too much, and come up with designs where you can get more rounds in a smaller gun, shotgun, and come up with some pretty innovative ideas. They're a little strange, a lot of them, aren't they? They look weird, they feel a little strange, and they're maybe a little awkward even to handle and load and all of that. But anyway, in this world of shotguns like this, I kind of like this. I don't know, there's something about it. There's a certain simplicity to it that, and even though it's very, very different, it might be one of my favorites of these unusual shotguns like this. For one thing, it's not a bullpup, and you're not trying to get it loaded from up under here and clearing a malfunction from up under here. It's, it's more like a standard rifle or shotgun. And I guess you could have some extras of these and have 2 or 3 of these in your pouch. I mean, you'd have a lot of ammo, wouldn't you? Plus, you could load them differently. You need to be careful. You could have them color coded with something painted or tape or something on there, and have shot slugs or whatever in there. I guess that's always a little dicey when you've got that situation, because you have to really be sure you know what's going to happen if you turn that once, what you're moving to, and in a stressful situation, you might not get it right, but it does offer that as an option, doesn't it? And I also know they make this thing in an NFA configuration, or full auto and all that, short barrel, and also with a different bolt you can change in for police work, where you can put a less than lethal bolt in it, as they call it, and shoot less than lethal ammunition through this, rubber bullets and whatever. And that probably, I don't know if that takes a different magazine or not. Probably not, because I think most of that sort of thing is standard shotgun shell size, because it works in 870 pumps and all that. So, but it can be configured for those sorts of things. Okay, so kind of an interesting thing. Let me put just a couple more in. Can I do that? I can't go through the. Let's see. This is number 4 buck. Put them in backwards. And this thing here, now this is kind of a polymer Zytel supported or reinforced, as I understand. It is light. It feels sturdy. Got metal back here, and it feels like a quality piece the way it works. Okay, when you put those in there, you don't get the feeling it's cheap. Nothing that feels cheap about it. Okay, you know what I mean. Some things just feel like, okay, they threw that together for $1.95, and wonder how long that'll last. You don't get that feel with anything about the firearm. Okay, so if it looks kind of funky to you and looks cheap, it doesn't feel that way, and of course it's not priced that way. So I'm just going to load 1 and shoot 4 more. All right, is that all right? Do I have my bolt? No, I don't. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll show you that. I'll demonstrate that, which you don't want to do generally. I'm going to put that in there. So I'll put the safety on. I'll pop that up in there if I can. You see that? So as soon as I got it in, whoa, we're hot. So not advisable probably to do that, unless you're being shot at or something maybe, and you've got her aimed down. Oh, you know what? Look at that 2-liter hiding behind there. Plus I missed a pot. What am I thinking about? I was about to go to the house for dinner here. We've got some things to shoot yet. Why don't we just shoot all of them? I have, what, 4 rounds? All right, that's all I need, I think. Are you ready, John, to get rained on? And 1 more for good measure. Oh man, too much fun. So anyway, the SRM 1216, I got some smoke or something in my throat there, is a pretty interesting shotgun. And like I say, it feels better probably and operates better than it looks. All right, it looks kind of funky, but it feels good. And it works. So what can I say? I appreciate Guns and Leather lending it to us. Again, they're over in Greenbrier, Tennessee. Great folks. I've been, bopping in there and buying and trading guns for, I guess, a couple of decades. I try to go when I have a voice. So if I go in there talking like this, they'll probably rip me off, right? Hey, that's better. Yeah, feels better. That's all I needed. There's a button in there I needed to push. Yeah, so anyway, we appreciate them lending it to us. We appreciate everybody that helps us out, because we get so much more help than we really deserve. John and I are just a couple of goofballs. And, Bud's Gun Shop and Federal, STI, and, gun shops around that help us out, the gun parlor, whoever it is that helps us with things. We don't deserve any of it, but we'll take it. We love it. Life is good. Oh, well, since I'm still here, let me take this moment to thank SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute, for their support of the channel. We appreciate their help. SDI is a place where you can get certified in gunsmithing. You can even get an associate's degree in firearms technology and work in various areas of the firearms field. Might be appealing to you. They work a lot with veterans, and just a pretty cool place. So check out the link, sdi.edu. The link is in the description of most videos, almost all videos for the last 6 months or more. So check that out. Also, while I have you, since I'm still here, be sure to check the links in all the descriptions, because we're on Full 30 now also with all the videos. So there's a link in the descriptions to Full 30, as well as, of course, our sponsors, SDI, budsgunshop.com, Federal Premium. So all the good information is there, as well as keep in mind that on Hickok 45 and Son, we have quite a few videos over there. John's doing the Gun Culture radio show over there. Check it out if you haven't done that yet. Our Facebook page, the Hickok 45 Facebook, the Hickok 45 and Son Facebook page. That's where we try to stay in touch with you and give you a little extra information. Even post pictures and a little video occasionally, just whatever. Mainly just a way to keep up with you all and provide some more information. We're not really Facebookers, but it's a pretty good system for that, even though most of us are not in love with Facebook, right? So check all that out, and you really had better check it out, because I might just have to come to your house and have a chat with you if you don't. And I expect to have coffee and donuts ready when I get there. All right.